far as organizing and starting a nonprofit organization. The nonprofit is called One Voice Hawaii, and the mission of the nonprofit is to organize and empower the Native Hawaiian community. And I personally don't see how my management styles are changed between how I operate Lanmark Technology and how One Voice Hawaii is being operated. I believe that nonprofits need to be run with the same values and operations as for-profit organizations. Just because it's a nonprofit doesn't mean that it shouldn't be profitable, and it still shouldn't be able to achieve whatever goals that are set forth in the business plan. And so I approach both organizations the same way.
Well, okay, maybe to go into it, how do you motivate an employee?
It's very important for me to create an environment that I would want to work in, and that family feeling environment, the feeling of valuing your employees as not only as staff members but as people, I think makes just a more effective environment. And I learned this through my military training. You can have staff that are charged with doing a job, but if they're not taken care of in their personal life, if they're having financial difficulty, if they have a sick parent that they have to care for, that's going to ultimately affect their work life. And so the more things that you can do as a leader to ensure that their personal life is in place and that there's very little disruption, the more productive employee that you're going to have. And so when I created my company, it was important for me to have benefits that really took care of my employees: free medical care, free life insurance, free short-term, long-term disability, a really competitive 401k plan, a really competitive number of days off, because I just realized that having those elements taken care of would only create a person who is not distracted when they're on their job, and gives them a personal commitment to wanting to see the organization prosper, because they realize that as the organization prospers, it just gets reinvested back into the things that matter to them personally.
Gotcha. And speaking of prosperity, with prosperity we always kind of put in, the money aspect. So we want to talk about the money aspect of it now. Okay. You said you started off with $6,000, and now your company, according to Entrepreneur Magazine, I read that it's up to around 15 million.
That's correct.
All right. And how did you build that from 6,000 to 15? I mean, was there any networking? I mean, tell me about the money aspect.
Okay. Of it. Well, again, it's planning on how fast you want to grow the company, and also planning how you want to achieve that growth. And this is a point that I would have to say that is a very important point, because there's a difference between an opportunity and the right opportunity. I have peers that got out of the military the same time I did, and started a business that did services, or continues to do services for the federal government. And there's this thing that happened around that time called the Iraq War. And so I have peers that are quite literally billionaires. They've built corporations very fastly that are hundreds and hundreds of millions, that does hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. Now that was an opportunity that was also presented to me, but it wasn't the right opportunity for my company. And so although I have grown rather quickly, $15 million in 5 years, I was very specific in the types of opportunities that I chose and the types of strategic partnerships that I teamed with in order to achieve that growth.
Is networking important when it comes to this?
Well, networking and mentoring, and I've found mentors through networking, and the only way to learn more and find out what's going on as opposed to not only just your industry, but what the trends are, is through that networking. And so I'm always looking to expand my network of people, because I always find with the more and more people that I come into contact with, I can learn something from them, whether it's what to do or what not to do.
All right, you have been watching ThinkTalk.com and our show, CEO. I'm your host, Nellie Yangmi, and we're going to get back with Miss Lani Hay. Thanks.
Hey, I'm Jeff Ma. You're watching Think Talk.
Thank you for watching Think Talk. I'm your host, Nellie Yangmi for CEO. And this next segment, we're going to be talking with Lani Hay and getting 2 more student questions in. And let's take it away from here. All right, Lani, we have this question. And in CEO, we try to give out these words and to see, what it means to you.
Okay.
So Alex has a question for you.
Okay.
As far as these words go.
My name is Alex Smith. I go to Georgetown University, and I was just wondering what perseverance encompasses to you, and what was the most useful skill in your path to success.
Well, perseverance is really that never quit attitude, and I am just inherently stubborn, and the only way that I've been able to overcome my obstacles in life is through that perseverance. Being a woman that has been in male-dominated environments for her entire professional career has had its many challenges, and there are times when I wonder why I continue to do it, but I realize that that I have so much to contribute and so much to give, and that and seeing the change and the inspiration and the motivation that I am giving others is really what keeps me going. And so perseverance is what I think is one of the keys to being a success in life, whether you're a mother or an entrepreneur.
Okay. And we have our last question for you.
Okay.
And this is from Courtney.
My name is Courtney Robinson, and I go to Georgetown University. And my question for Lani is, as a woman, what would be your one suggestion for business students such as me, women, to become successful as you have? What would be your one major goal that you would want me to have?
What I would tell her is to not focus on being a woman. I don't walk into a room as a businesswoman. I walk into meetings as a business leader. And I try not to address and focus on the fact that I am a woman or that I am a minority. Other people have brought it to my attention because of their own issues with those traits, but and that's not to say that it's not important to understand that women do bring something different to the table. But I think that as someone in an MBA program, she's not a student MBA candidate. She is an MBA candidate. So I would just say don't focus on the fact that you're a woman. Focus on the fact that you want to be a business person.
Lani, thank you so much for being here, and it was a pleasure talking to you. And there's just a massive amount of information and things we just want to get into, but thank you for giving us your time today.
Thank you, Nellie, and I'll come back if you ever would like to have me back on the show.
Wonderful. Thank you. You have been watching CEO. I'm your host, Nellie Yangmi, and we have been interviewing CEO and President of Lanmark Technology Incorporated. Thank you so much for watching Think Talk. You can find us on cable, online, and on campus. Check out thinktalk.com.